Let's be honest. Have you ever sat through a sprint planning session and thought, why are we building this? And this is one of the best silent killers in agile projects. This disconnection between what teams are doing and why they are doing it. You will see all over the internet people talk about user stories, story points, velocity, and so on and so forth. But how often do you step back and ask, does this get us closer to the product vision? Now, this gap between strategic intent and technical execution is one of the most persistent problems in agile practice. When your backlog becomes a to-do list instead of a blueprint for value, teams drift. Alignment is lost, and energy drops, and the most dangerously, nobody notices until delivery fails. So, how do we fix it? What we need is a simple but powerful concept called traceability. It's the ability to draw a clear line from every backlog item all the way back to the product vision. And when you can do that, everything changes. But you have to really understand the vision first. I think of a vision as something big, something ambitious, and a little intimidating. Let's call it a mountain Everest. That's your why. It tells everyone on the team where you are ultimately headed and more importantly, why the journey matters. But no one climbs this big mountain in one step, right? That's why we break the journey into product goals. So how many base camps does Mountain Everest have? Several, right? So those product goals are just your base camps. And these are 4 to 6 month intermediate objectives that turn vision into momentum. They give you team direction and focus. Now, want to see it in action? So let's say your vision is help anyone learn a new language through conversational AI. That's a big picture. That's inspirational, right? So a product goal might be launch a prototype artificial intelligence tutor for Spanish-speaking users by the end of quarter 2. Now, that's a goal you can plan around. So as a product owner, this helps you prioritize. And as a Scrum Master, it helps you shield your team from noise. And as a project manager, it turns ambiguity into a strategy. So when vision and product goals are in sync, you are no longer just doing agile. You are aiming, you are climbing, and delivering with purpose. And with every clear product goal, you define the limits of the scope and focus your planning. You set measurable expectations that guide the decisions on what gets built and when. You shift from reacting to stakeholder pressure to confidently saying, this is what we are solving right now, and here is how it contributes to our long-term mission. But most backlogs are broken. They are overstuffed with the low-priority tech debt, wishlist features, and vague improvements. It's easy to lose sight of what actually matters. But the backlog isn't supposed to be a graveyard. It's meant to be a living, breathing blueprint for realizing your product vision. So the question is simple. Can you explain how each item in your backlog connects to your product goal, to your current product goal? If not, it's time to rethink refinement. Backlog refinements is about breaking stories into tasks and making sure every item in the backlog means something. Every story should move you one step closer to the next base camp. So try this. At your next backlog refinement session, ask the team, how does this story help us reach our product goal? If the room goes silence, you found a misalignment. So the backlog should reflect intentional prioritization. So what does this mean? It should mirror your understanding of what will deliver the most value towards the goal and eliminate what doesn't. This means regularly pruning backlog items that have lost relevance even if they once felt important. It means resisting the urge to keep everything just in case, right? So a cluttered backlog is like a cluttered mind. Teams move slower, meetings drag on, focus erodes. So instead, cultivate a backlog that breathes. Let stories come and go. Let all ideas go stale and be removed. Let the work reflect now, not a fudgy wishlist from 6 months ago. I mentioned traceability, so let me explain this in a plain language. Traceability is what allows you to say, we are building this feature because it directly supports the product goal, which help us realize this vision, right? So it's the invisible thread that connects the work on a Jira board to the presentation your CEO gave at the product launch kickoff. It's what makes every single team member, designer, developer, tester, feel like a part of something bigger. And why is this so important? Because when traceability is weak or missing, work feels random. You lose the ability to prioritize with confidence, and worse, you lose the narrative. But when traceability is strong, then the team knows the why. They take ownership of the outcome, not just the output. They know when to challenge new work that doesn't fit. They can push back respectfully with the logic, this doesn't move us toward the current product goal. That's when agile becomes real. So, what happens when you align? It happens, but focus happens, flow, and fewer fires. When you align vision to backlog, 3 things happen. You stop wasting time, no more building features that don't serve the mission. You reduce rework and get better outcomes. Your team stays focused. The backlog stops being a list of chores, it becomes a roadmap. And number 3, people start believing in what the team is doing and care more. When you connect what they are doing into why it matters, motivation skyrockets. Scrum Masters get fewer headaches, product owners have clear priorities, agile product managers can report progress in terms of value, not just velocity, and stakeholders, well, they'll start seeing progress not just as tickets closed, but as meaningful steps toward goals they actually care about. And you also build trust. When the trust grows, so does autonomy. So team doesn't need constant direction. They are already aligned. So, still not sure, is it worth it? Try this one-day experiment, okay? Here is how it works. Let's make it practical. So, I want you to try 24-hour sprint alignment drill. So, step number 1, pick a product goal. Number 2, scan the current sprint backlog. Number 3, for each story, ask, does this contribute directly to the goal? If not, why is there? Okay? You might be surprised at how many items have lost their connection to the bigger picture. And this exercise is fast, not threatening, and revealing. And it's an easy way to spark better conversation in your team. And here's one bonus tip. If you're a Scrum Master, try this as a retro team. If you are a product owner, do it with your stakeholders. And if you are a team member, developer, tester, bring it to planning. Alignment is everyone's job. Okay? So, Agile is at its best when it's simple. A clear vision, a tangible product goal, a a refined backlog filled with traceable stories. That's your blueprint. Everything else is noise. So if you want to build a better product and happier teams, teach purpose, practice traceability, make the why visible. And there is a great YouTube video called Start with Why, How Great Leaders Inspire Action by Simon Sinek. Highly recommend. So, when each team member can point to a story and explain how it contributes to something bigger, that's alignment. That's the kind of clarity that survives crunch time, changing priorities and stakeholder pivots. Your backlog isn't just a plan, it's your product story, told one valuable sprint at a time. Okay? If you want to go deeper, if this clicked for you and you want to dive deeper into the backlog alignment, product visioning, and practical Scrum leadership, download my free Real Scrum Guide, latest version 2025, because if Agile isn't grounded in purpose, it's just process. And you are here to build something that matters, right? Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lecture.